The Family TV would like to present a warning. Disclaimer: this video may contain themes of violence, death, explicit language, and or gang activity, but in no way, shape, or form are we trying to incite or encourage illegal behavior. This video is for educational, informational, and documentary purposes only. All content has been provided to public information that's protected, we believe, by Section 107 of U.S. copyright law. With making every effort to make sure we abide by YouTube guidelines, there might be a lot of edits for you guys to watch. But if you guys would like to check the unedited process out, please feel free to check the link in the description to check out all platforms for the Family TV. With that being said, please enjoy this content as we present this story.
I'm gonna say this out the gate. I really don't think it's been said enough. Some people don't care about they self, let alone care about somebody they so-called love. If you in the streets, you know what come with that. If you living that life, don't put your folks in jeopardy. We all know if they looking for you and they can't find you, they gonna find somebody you hang with, or even worse, find somebody you love. And let's keep it real. Once a body drop, ain't no turning back from that.
Man, it's just getting crazy where you just can't go nowhere no more unless something like this here happening and everything. I don't know what gonna happen in Baton Rouge, you know, in the next few years or so.
Community came together and gave us information, which led to the arrest of Demise and Grimm from the shooting at the Mall of Louisiana.
According to one witness lingering by yellow crime scene tape, this all began when a group of girls was on the street to fight before the many shots rang out. That witness, who did not want to go on camera, saying a male had been shot in the mouth, his mother in the side, and his sister being the latest life lost to gun violence.
Because we failed them. We failed them. They don't love themselves. Because if they love themselves, they wouldn't shoot somebody who looked just like them, who act just like them, who walk just like them, who have the same swag that they have. They're killing themselves, brother. We got to teach them to love again.
On April 1st, that's April Fool's. We just passed ours for 2024. But it wasn't no joke when local reports out of Baton Rouge had stated that a man had lost his life at around 2 a.m., one of 3 who lost their life in a span of 24 hours. But what makes this story crazy, the man who lost his life was just arrested a little under 2 years ago in connection to a popular local rapper who lost his life while in a car, broad daylight, outside a mall. Now, of course, we'll later discuss the details in the video, but I want you guys to know this out the gate, family. Just within the last 2 years alone, the man who lost his life on April 1st lost his brother in a targeted shooting outside their home. Weeks after that, lost his blood cousin in a hotel parking lot and got his cousin shot. Not to mention, on the other side, people losing their life close to them as well, like a young girl we'll later discuss, who lost her life driving with her mother and her brother, and the brother got arrested weeks later for robbing a bank technician. Nah, for real, family. And this just was public. Listen, I know that could be confusing, but that's what you got me for. But in this video, we're gonna break down the names and affiliations of the man who lost his life within the last 24 hours, according to indictments, police reports, etc., within the last 2 years, and see why all this is going down. But before we go over this one, remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. According to Baton Rouge Police Department, it's a war going on between 2 gangs in BR, Banktown Mafia and Bleedas, which led to the demise of many bodies, one a local rapper named True Bleeda. But let's slow down, family. Let's talk about each alleged gang and give the public backstory on the 2 via the indictments. Now, Banktown Mafia Red Stick drug bust had happened on April 15, 2022. And the drug bust was at an abandoned home on 75th Avenue, which is also the area that Banktown hang in, according to BRPD. Banktown Mafia had members in jail as well. One had just got stabbed with a homemade shank in East Baton Rouge Parish Jail.
Member of the Banktown Mafia was rushed to the hospital after being stabbed by a rival gang member in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. Paramedics were called to the prison last Thursday afternoon. 2 WAFB TV sources identified the victim as 25-year-old Charleston Street. Street was arrested with 7 other suspects earlier this week in a major case involving drugs and guns.
Now, one of the most known alleged gang members from Banktown Mafia is a guy that go by the name of Demise and Grimm, aka The Bug. He also a Baton Rouge clothing designer with his own brand, Way of Living. But it wasn't for his clothing brand that made him a household name in Baton Rouge. It was his arrest for 2 first degrees and 2 attempts after being indicted just under 2 years ago while already in jail for a separate charge. As we mentioned, the drug bust. But his arrest came out of home on Lockhaven Avenue, and that happened on March 29, 2020. That wasn't his first run-in with the law, but 2 weeks later is when he was indicted for 2 first degree and 2 attempts, April 14, 2020. And one of those first degrees was for a well-known rapper, as we mentioned, Bleeda.
Just like this community came together and gave us information, which led to the arrest of Demetri and Grimm from the shooting at the Mall of Louisiana.
By his name alone, you can tell who his affiliation was, the Bleedas. And according to BRPD, they hang in the area of Glen Oaks. Bleeda had millions of views on many songs on YouTube. He lost his life on February 27, 2022, near the Mall of Louisiana, Friday afternoon. It was a targeted shooting, according to BRPD. 4 people were inside a car, and the shooter covered them with bullets, broad daylight. It was around 1:30 p.m. near the entrance of the mall parking lot. When police had arrived, they saw all 4 victims shot at the intersection of Blue Bonnet Boulevard and Picardy Avenue. The suspect left a stolen car at the scene and left in a separate getaway vehicle. The victims was identified as Clifton Lindsey, 19 years old, and Dante Dorsey, 18 years old, aka Bleeda. May they both rest in peace and level condolences to their families. The 2 surviving victims was aged 21 and 19. And as we mentioned earlier in the video, family, Grimm was already locked up for a previous charge just 2 weeks prior. But on August 22, 2022, months after the indictment, the district attorney decided to let the charges be dropped after the only evidence they had against Grimm was the evidence of DNA being found in the abandoned vehicle that was left at the mall. When the DA was last asked this question, he said he might reopen the case. But during this time, they did release the possible motive. Grimm had lost his older brother in a targeted shooting outside their home just 6 months before the mall shooting. It was October 8, 2021. 25-year-old Jamorris Ferguson was gunned down at his home on Lockhaven Avenue. He lost his life 7 months later, May 2022, from his injuries. May he rest in peace and level condolences to his family.
Accused of killing 2 people outside the mall in Louisiana was laid to rest this morning after succumbing to shooting injuries from a drive-by in October. Though Demetri Grimm requested a judge let him out of jail to attend, he was denied.
Early Saturday morning, more than 100 people gathered to celebrate the life of Jamorris "Jimo" Ferguson. Say Ferguson was an Army veteran, a father, and a business owner who would do anything for anyone. 25-year-old died on May 5th from injuries he suffered from a drive-by shooting that happened last year. Police say he was not the intended target. Demetri Grimm, who's currently jailed for allegedly killing 2 people outside the Mall of Louisiana back in February, was denied by a judge for his request to be at the funeral.
But according to BRPD, that shooting led to the retaliation of the Bleedas and 3 others outside the mall. Now, everyone that was close to the Bleedas or Banktown Mafia knew they could be a casualty to this war. So even females at times would be strapped. Grimm's blood cousin would be next to lose his life to this war, according to BRPD, just 3 weeks after the mall shooting. Grimm's cousin was gunned down in a hotel parking lot, stomped against the hood of a white pickup truck in the parking lot of a Holiday Inn on Airline Highway late Monday morning.
Look at my baby! My baby did not deserve this! A grieving mother screams in agony and anger. Dozens of family and friends filled the Holiday Inn parking lot after learning their loved one was shot dead in his car. According to police, 23-year-old Malachi Demelin was shot multiple times and was pronounced dead at the scene. A woman who was also shot is being treated at a hospital and is expected to be okay.
And just 3 weeks after that shooting in the hotel parking lot, the guy who lost his life with Bleeda outside the mall, Clifton Lindsey, his 16-year-old little cousin, was gunned down after a shootout that police said her brother had started. Lindsey's mother had drove his brother and sister, Tremaine and Tremaya, to their home in Glen Oaks. Tremaine fired the first shot that led to a shootout. Tremaya was killed and her brother Tremaine was arrested for that shooting, booked on 5 counts of attempt M. He was already out on bond on an arrest in February of 2022 after Tremaine and a group of men had allegedly robbed ATM technicians while they were fixing the machine and stole the cash.
The window of this white SUV shot out. Sources telling WBRZ gunfire was exchanged between people in that car and others near a home. Gunshots from the person returning fire near the home are believed to have hit and injured the 3 people in the white SUV. Sources saying it was an adult and her 2 children in that car who went to a house for an altercation. According to one witness lingering by yellow crime scene tape, this all began when a group of girls was on the street to fight before the many shots rang out. That witness who did not want to go on camera saying a male had been shot in the mouth, his mother in the side, and his sister being the latest life lost to gun violence.
And on that indictment, Tremaine and the 4 others was listed as members of the Bleedas. Fast forward to April 1st, 2024, 18 months since the DA had dropped the case against the alleged Banktown Mafia, Grim, for the demise of true Bleeda. Just like his brother, Grim was gunned down in front of his home at just 23 years old. And a guy named Jonathan Williams. May they both rest in peace and love and condolences to their families. A 16-year-old girl was shot as well, but thank God she survived. The house was located on 68th Avenue near Cambridge Street just after 2 a.m. It's a never-ending cycle, fam. Like we said at the very beginning, once a body drop, ain't no turning back from that. It's all fun and games until the rabbit got the gun. Now the fact that both sides having innocent women being struck, one losing their life, may she rest in peace. But like we said at the beginning as well, you don't care about yourself, I can't expect for you to care about someone you so-called love. The message from this story should be, revenge don't have a date on it. Fam, it's time for you guys to share your thoughts in the comment. This was the story of a Louisiana man who was gunned down in similar fashion as his brother. A man who literally got away with M1 on 2 counts, gets the charges dropped, and gets gunned down 18 months later. All while losing family and friends along the journey. The streets are myth, family. Talk to me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.